How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to TheBlueShifting, and welcome back to Higurashi When They Cry. We're kicking into gear. Watanagashi's, tier, I guess. I don't know if we're going to start earlier in the day or something, but the festival's here. We did setup. It reintroduced the concept of the curse, which is basically kickoff for the fun and games are over. So let's see what horrors we unlock now. Man, I remember in the first chapter after this phase over, like, it became almost stressful. Like, I wanted to play the game, obviously, but it became like this, like, nest of just, not fear, but tension every time I'd start it up. And it's already coming back. I could feel it in my heart. So, yeah. Basically, we have the Shion kind of providing context, and we have the two next victims whom we got to meet and kind of give the story approach. I commented before, sorry, I think I'm coming down with a cold. I commented before on how odd it was that they're kind of reintroducing the characters in this way, how Keiichi kind of acted like he'd never seen them before, but they were saying information that we not only know he's seen, like, he's seen he's related to the characters before. He should know about the curse already, and at least like the damn site stuff. And they reiterated it. I was saying that I think it is mostly a narrative tool just to make sure that everyone's on the same page. So you didn't accidentally get this game, or it's been so long since you played the first game that you're going to forget like these really important details that really matter. I think that's ultimately what it was. But being able to play the games back to back like I am, it feels very odd, repetitive, and almost like it's rewriting the history a bit. But again, I think it's more of like a narrative like necessity just because of the way this game can be delivered. They need to make sure that you're not going to accidentally forget or overlook details that are crucial to understanding what will happen in the next few parts. So I can forgive it. It's just, it was a little like immersion breaking. Not too bad, but I imagine it's going to be a repetitive thing in the later chapters, but maybe they'll find that the retention for the audience is good enough that as we go through chapters like 3 and 4 and all that they won't have to restate things so much, or they'll at least be able to restate it in different ways with different characters. I'm not sure. Anyway, regardless of that, I think it's time for us to just jump right in and see what happens next. So let's go. I really meant
本当に伝えたいのは違う言葉だった。本当に感じたいのは違う心だった。すれ違いが溝を生み、ためらいの気持ちが人を恐怖へと沈ませる。
Who is that speaking?
もう誰も止められない。冷たい感情がむき出しの心を深く残酷にえぐってゆく。Watanagashi。
Yeah.
なぜあの時とつぶやく後悔の言葉。それはもはや虚しい響きだった。
Is that supposed to be Mion? Because last time it was Rena's voice actor at the very least who did like that intro thing, and that makes sense. It would be like it's kind of implying that because for Rena it was like the lies and that feeling of separation and not being able to like trust, and for Mion it's like this idea of like this built up layers of emotional just like betrayals and confusion, because like we never actually resolved anything with Mion, with Shion's interference unfortunately preventing that and also exacerbating it. So maybe part of that is what fuels like almost like a jealous rage. I feel like that seems wrong from Mion, but you can kind of see like the layout for it, where she has these unremitted feelings, and he's never truly acknowledged it. And when he's kind of gotten close to it, he still like has implied that it wasn't really meant to be, or that he would have picked Shion over Mion, and for whatever reason, that built up a resentment, and that resentment is going to be what motivates her to be so nasty to him in these next parts, when he starts to go where he starts to seem to be a collaborator with the enemy. Because I always thought it was weird how quickly they turned on him. And maybe this is supposed to be setting up a foundation for why Mion was willing to go on board with turning against him, because she, at this point, is kind of heartbroken and frustrated and confused. And so then it's kind of easy to take those like feelings and turn them into like negative emotions. And so maybe that's what's gonna happen. We'll have to see. Anyway, hey Rena.
ケイチくんだ。おはようなんだよ。だよ。
Rena was ecstatically waving her arms at me, already brimming with energy.
おはようって、もう夕方だぜ。こんにちは、だろ。
でも、今日ケイチくんにする最初の挨拶だから、やっぱりおはようがいいな。いいな。
わかった。じゃあ、おはようでいい。おはよう、レナ。
I grabbed Rena's head and rubbed it with my head. She squirmed, reveling in the motion like a cat.
やっほー、ケイちゃん。昨日は申し訳なかったね。黙って帰っちゃってさ。
ああ、それを言うなら俺の方が悪かった。ミオンをずっと待たせっぱなしでごめんな。
昨日のお祭りの準備のことかな。どうだったケイチくん。しっかりとお仕事してた？
The slight muscle pain throughout my body, my sluggish movements were already obvious.
頑張ってたよ。へばってたけどね。
I grinned dryly at the three of us break into laughter.
サトコとリカちゃんは祭り会場で合流か？
リカちゃんはほら、大切なお勤めがあるから昨日からずっと。
Oh dang, that implies that she was like there all night.
さとこちゃんもそのお供だそうだから、もう二人とも神社にいるよ。
Right, I just remembered. Today was Rika-chan's big performance. She'd been practicing especially hard for this day. As her friend, I needed to make sure I went and cheered her on.
よっしゃ、早速行こうぜ。
Oh man, look at that. As we got closer to the shrine, we started passing by more people and seeing lots of parked cars. It began to get noisier too. I thought I could hear something like a Bond dance song. Without being able to restrain my impatience, I dashed up the entire flight of stone stairs.
ケイチくん早いよ。待って。
たくケイちゃん、お子様なんだからな。
There we are. Boy, this looks familiar. Whoa, the shrine grounds, they're packed with people. It's a festival if I ever saw one.
わあ、今年も立派だね。すごいね、すごいね。
Hinamizawa中から出てきてるんだろうな。ありゃ、君吉分家の寝たきりじいさんまで来てるじゃない。
Oh, dang.
あのじいさん、去年のWatanagashi以降、ずーっと布団の中で過ごしてたんじゃないかな。
Pretty impressive. Yeah, there were a lot of villagers here. I didn't really know. They must have all been pouring in just for today.
あ、さとこちゃんだ。はーい。
Here she is.
あら、皆さんでございますの。こんにちはですわ。
よう、サトコ。今日はすごい人出だよな。はぐれて迷子になるなよ。
誰が迷子になるんですの？
Satoko too seemed somehow energetic. Of course, I'm the same way.
あれ？リカちゃんは？まだ自由時間でしょ？リカは村長さんたちと挨拶してましたですわ。すぐに来るでございますわよ。
Okay. I see. Rika-chan's the shrine maiden for today's festival, after all. It's probably a pain for her to say hello to all the elders.
実に大変なのですよ。
How did you know?
こんにちはなのです。
It really does feel like it's like hinting that she can read minds. It's obvious that she's just good at reading expressions, especially us, because you know we're like an open book.
はうリカちゃん、お持ち帰り。
All right, let's actually see real quick. Oh, okay, yeah. Aww, she looks more like a teddy bear here. All right. Rika-chan was wearing an immaculate shrine maiden outfit that looked fresh off the shelves. It was a perfect fit for her somehow mystical appearance.
どう？丈とか長すぎない？バッチャからもしも袖がかかるようならって安全ピンを預かってきてるんだけど。
Jeez, Mion, you can do like everything.
大丈夫なのです。実に快適なのですよ。
As she spoke, she began to do some twists and stretches.
いいよね。これかわいいよね。
Calm down. There was an approximately one person here getting a nosebleed from watching Rika-chan move.
ケイチ君は可愛いと思わないかな。
I mean, yeah, but not the same level as you.
思わないならレナのになっちゃうからお持ち帰り。
すごく可愛いと思うぞ。かなり活かす。不敬のふりをして写真を撮りまくりたいくらいだ。
Okay, that's a little odd, but okay.
2点から撮影して立体視できるようにすれば 立体の生リカちゃんが自宅でいつでも食べもとい
Amanda's eyes and mine glitter with stars as our nose bled and we drooled. Wow, what a pair.
リカ、あいつらに近寄ると大変ですわよ。
Yeah, I'm getting a sense of danger.
地下室とかに閉じ込められるかもしれないのです。
They keep making this like it's a joke, but in this game, I'm not convinced it's a joke. Oh my gosh. Is that part of like the whole vanishing though? Like, do people just get locked away in basements when they get vanished?
その割にはリカちゃん楽しそうだけど。
ミーがひどいことを言うのですよ。
We all laugh together again.
じゃ、もたもたしないで祭りを回るかね。リカちゃんの出番までそう時間がないでしょ。
そうだな。よっしゃ行こうぜみんな。
Yay, let's pretend we're not secretly talking about horrific things that we're probably gonna end up discovering about basements in the future. Oh boy. Is this gonna be a different game, I'm guessing?
豚肉たっぷりの焼きそばだぜよ。今年はイカリングまで入ってるボリューム派よ。
Oh.
へい親父、今年の焼きそばもなかなか力作じゃないの。イカまで入れるとは今年は奮発してるね。
へえ、美味しいね、美味しいね。
ああ、イカってのは食ってもうまいが、それ以上に匂いが香ばしいんだよな。
Someday I'm gonna try like actual takoyaki.
軟弱になりがちな歯ごたえも実に見事に補ってる。イカと豚肉のボリューム感は実に素晴らしい。
Interesting that they have both. I didn't realize they had multiple meats in it.
悪くない出来だ。
へえ、ケイちゃんって何気に料理番組の司会とかに向いてるね。
ケイチくんが美味しそうに食べてると、なんだかいつもよりもずっと美味しそうに感じるもんね。
Yeah, yeah.
俺はうまいものはうまいっていう主義なんだよ。だから俺がうまいっていうものはとりあえず試してみる価値があると思うぞ。
Yeah, he doesn't lie about that. He might exaggerate, but it's
では
okay.
ケイチ、この焼きそばの評価を改めてどうぞなのですよ。
Okay.
一言で言うとだ。うまい。
うまい!
胃袋がもう一つあるんなら迷わずもう一つ買ってるな。
Having heard my 3-star rating, a whole line of people suddenly formed a line in front of the yakisoba stand.
おお、すごいよ。ケイちゃんがあんまりにも美味しそうに言うもんだから集客効果バッチリだわ。
You'd probably make money doing this, being a PR guy. There was nothing to brag about, but I still decided to stick out my chest and put on airs. Mm-hmm.
あら、そうなんですの？では、私も挑戦してみましたよ。おじさん、たこ焼き一つくださいますこと？
Satoko brought a stick of takoyaki balls of fried octopus from an adjacent stand, and after blowing on it, put one of them into her mouth.
どうかな、さとこちゃん。美味しい評価が出るなら、レナも買うよ。
Chomp chomp. Chew chew. Gulp.
さあ、料理評論家の北条さとこ審査員のご感想をどうぞ。
Yeah? Though she was all for it a moment ago, Satoko hesitates to give her thoughts. Hey now, what's the matter? Everyone else takes one of their own and puts it in their mouths.
あれれ、レナのは外れだね。
Uh-oh.
僕のも外れです。
Ew.
タコさんが入ってないのです。
Well, then what is it? This takoyaki vendor? Could this be some sort of summer festival only octopus-free takoyaki stand? An evil takoyaki stand that skimped out on octopus because they figured out it would make them good money today?
あ、私のには入ってたわ。
Oh no.
タコが入ってる分には十分うまいよ。
このタコなしたこ焼きをどう美味しそうに解説すればいいんですの？
Everyone wondered about that. Our quizzical looks seemed to be drawing equally dubious stares from the people in line.
こんなのはどうかな？
Alright.
たこ焼きなのにタコが入ってないからとってもヘルシー。
Is it though? I feel like you're taking the most healthy part of the takoyaki if you take out the octopus.
タコの嫌いな人でも食べられる美味しいたこ焼き。
After hearing that, several surprised guests left the line. It had the exact opposite effect.
じゃあ次は私が挑戦するよ。
Also, when you're going to festival and eating festival food, you're not usually thinking, what's the healthiest option here?
小麦粉やネギ、紅生姜の味などの素朴さをしっとりと味わわせてくれる自信作。タコが入ってない分だけ素材の味が程よく。
No. It wasn't that bad, but upon hearing there's no octopus in it clause, most people left the line.
リカちゃんは何かいいコメントはあるか？率直でいいぞ。
これで400円は高いのです。
Oh, fetch. God, that was too honest. Even more customers left the line, dealing a lethal blow. There was some takoyaki stands around, after all.
いやー、なんか私らとんでもないことをしてるような。ほら、さとこ、あんたが始めたことなんだからビシッとここで逆転させなさいよ。
無理でございますわ。タコの入っていないたこ焼きなんてどう褒めればいいんですの？
God, you idiot! Satoko's angry outburst was the finishing blow.
お客さんみんないなくなっちゃった。あれれ、おじさん睨んでる。
Yeah, I would be too.
なんでだろう、なんでだろう。
Sigh. There's no saving this crowd. Perhaps I, Keiichi Baribara-san, will lend a generous hand.
ケイイチならきっとなんとかできますですよ。
I don't think so.
タコなしたこ焼き屋さんを助けてあげてほしいのです。
笑顔でトゲのあることを言うな。まあわかった。俺がプロの技を見せてやるからよく見てろよ。
I shoved the stick of octopus-less takoyaki and crammed it into my mouth. As before, there wasn't any octopus in it, but Mion had some in it. That was the important part. Oh, he's gonna make it a...
このたこ焼き屋の親父さんは本当の意味でたこ焼きが好きなんだ。
It's a luck game, yes, right? Like a gotcha.
いや、愛してると言っていい。
Everyone gasped in surprise, including the man running the stand. Like, what? Including the takoyaki man glaring at us.
あの親父さんは本当にたこ焼きが大好きなんだ。大好きだからこそいい加減なたこ焼きを作りたくないんだ。そうだね、親父さん。
The takoyaki vendor looked down, unsure. Those watching were listening intently, wanting to know why octopusless takoyaki deserved such a high rating.
でもケイチさん、そんなにたこ焼きが大好きならどうしてタコなしたこ焼きなんか作りますの？たこ焼きに対する裏切りではございませんの？
Oh, you're gonna argue that the true test of takoyaki isn't like a premium, like the premium like core protein. It's the filler and the flavoring that around it that matters, because that's where the skill lies in making one takoyaki better than the other. You could argue that you could make any good old takoyaki if you just spend a ton of money and cram as much protein as you possibly can, whereas it takes more skill to make one that's good to eat and enjoyable that can't rely on the crutch that is excessive protein.
そうだな、ある意味裏切りだ。だがこれは親父さんにとっての、親父さんは今日だって本当のたこ焼きを作ってるよ。でもそれはこの中のほんの一つか二つでしかない。
まあそうだね。私の食べた一つにはタコは入ってたし、タコが入ってる分にはそんなに悪い味じゃなかったよ。
そう、それが本物のたこ焼きだ。それ以外のたこ焼きは8個入ってなきゃたこ焼きじゃないという一般人の先入観への最大限の妥協なんだ。
Ah, yeah, I get he's applying it as a cost-saving measure.
ケイチ君の言う意味がわからないよ。どうして本物は一つで他は偽物なのかな？
その秘密はタコにあるんだ。親父さん、このタコ本物の明石のタコだね。近年明石のタコの水揚げは激減してとても高騰しているんだ。たこ焼きなんかにとても使えないようなとても高い値段になってしまってるんだ。
Then the man who had been looking down at it the whole time mumbled.
ああ、そうよ。明石のタコはすごく高いんだよ。
でも親父さんは明石のタコにこだわったんだ。安物のいい加減なタコを使えばいくらでもごまかせるのに。明石のじゃないのに明石というのぼりを立てて販売してるインチキたこ焼き屋はいくらでもあるのに。
It's an interesting angle.
親父さんはごまかさなかった。嘘をつかなかった。タコは明石。この一点だけを頑なに譲らなかったんだ。親父さんはたこ焼きを愛してた。 だから嘘をつけなかった。でもどうしても1点だけ強いられる妥協点があったんだ。
Quantity.
それは何ですの？
数さ。たこ焼きってのは一船8個がポピュラーだ。いくら本物の明石のタコだからって言って400円で1個だけってわけにはいかないだろ。でも8個にしなくては買ってもらえない。だから親父さんは涙を飲んだ。本物のたこ焼きを1つ作るために残り7個に嘘をつくしかなかったんだ。
Okay. Oh, whoa! The octopus freak takoyaki vendor bursts into tears. I gently clap him on the shoulder.
みんなが何と言おうと俺はあんたの純粋さを忘れない。あんたこそは本物のたこ焼き屋なんだ。
Keiichi, you did a good job.
あんただけがたこ焼き屋を名乗っていいんだ。
Clap, 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 clap. As I embraced the shoulder of this man, shedding his manly tears, those watching delivered a round of applause, moved by my speech.
さあみんな、この本物のたこ焼き屋のたこ焼きをどうか食べてやってくれ。こんな純粋な男を大事にしなくてどうして本当のたこ焼き道が守れようか。みんなが食わないなら俺が食うぞ。
見てた人たちがみんな並ぶよ。
Holy crap.
ケイイチくん、やったやった
たこ焼きが美味しそうに感じたってよりケイちゃんの味演説が面白かったからだ
It's interesting that this is the second time they're trying to make this point that like one of his gifts is like being able to like spin up a tale that's actually compelling. It's how he won the curry, like the curry challenge, like last second, and it's how he won over this food. Yeah, he really might be a good food critic.
ケイちゃんって生の油売りとかやったらかなりウケるかもしれない。
スーパーの実演販売でもやればウケそうですよ。
Oh yeah.
怪しい万能包丁とか売りつける仕事に向いてそうですわね。
Probably. Absolutely stunned at my successful pitch, the guys managing the stall next to this one called out to me.
おいおい兄ちゃんたち、うちのあんず飴も頼むよ。
よし、要領はつかめただろう。今度はレナが行け。
よーし、頑張るよ。はう、
Uh-oh.
あんず飴が冷えててとっても美味しいんだよ。水飴の上にね、ちょこんってあんずが乗ってるの。
I mean, you're just describing it.
はう、かわいい
I
ね。
guess that kind of works.
お持ち帰り。はう。
Looks like she's lost herself in the midway through. But the girl giving such a natural praise was itself bringing in some customers. A line was quickly forming behind Rena.
今度はお好み焼き屋だ。さとこ行け。
焼きそばに揚げ玉入りでカリカリなのがとっても美味しいでございますわね。大きなベーコンが丸ごと敷いてあってかじるとほらビローンって出てきてはっはっはっ。
おう、うまいうまい。それなら俺も食ってみたくなる。
Then a huge line formed at my words. What on earth is this? So basically all the onlookers are just following us around all the stands.
みんなのを聞いてから食べるといつもよりずっと美味しく感じるからなのですよ。
That's probably true. So that's it. Even Rika-chan was gorging herself on food, getting sauce on the bib she'd put on to prevent her shrine maiden outfit from getting dirty.
よーし、おじさんも盛り上がってきたよ。よしケイちゃん、私はどれだ。
よっしゃ、ミオはさらにその隣の露店へ行け。ミオンの底力を。
あれ？でもケイイチくん、お隣のお店は。
Whoops. Goldfish scooping stand. A bit of an element.
いや、部活の部長たるもの、相手が何でやれ逃げられないね。
I like how when like poor quiet hear the Higurashi of all
やってみ
things.
るよ。
ミオンさんのお手並み拝見でございますわ。
The onlookers were all watching me on with hopeful eyes.
いらっしゃい。はいよ、アミットワン。
よし、やるぞ。
Yeah, yeah.
金魚はみんな生きがいいね。実に美味しそう。
They look delicious. What?
この小さいのなんかそのままボリボリと生でいけちゃうよね。
Mion, what are you talking about? Mutter, mutter.
ミオンさんは何を言ってるんでございますの？
Yeah, that's horrifying.
みーちゃん、食べ てたの？去年レナからもらったのも
Oh no.
食べちゃったの？
Uh-oh.
違う。私そんなこと言ってない。
Mion's face went red as she shook it vehemently in denial.
いや、でも、今、ミオン、お前自分で言ったぞ。実に美味しそうだって。
Oh no, I should have known.
確かに言いました。
I was just about to say, like, that was totally, like, because her mouth wasn't moving. So it was Shion. Shion's messing with him.
おねって雑食ですから、口に入れば何でも食べちゃうんです。
Shion, please.
美味しいなら今度僕も試してみるのです。ダメだよリカちゃん、お腹壊しちゃうよ。
Wait a second. Hey, what the heck? Shion, how long have you been here?
はーい。ケイちゃんにおねにみんな、こんばんは。あんたどこから湧いてきたのしよ
Yeah, I know, right?
焼きそば屋さんの時からずっとです。
Oh, okay.
お姉たちは騒がしいからすぐに見つけられました。もうあんたは関係ないでしょ。早くどっかへ消えなさいよ。
Get out of here.
もうお姉もあまり私を邪険にしないでください。
Okay, I mentioned this in, like, I was thinking about it all week, and I mentioned it in the comments last episode, but I'll say it again now that she's here, and she's been already messing with me on so badly. Like, there's something, like, I remember I said that I really liked Shion, but after the reveal and the whole doll thing, like, she kind of was driving me the wrong way, and I finally kind of put my thumb on it last time, and it's because, like, she plays games like Mion, but she seems motivated more by a cruel streak. Like, she's purposely sabotaging Mion, her reputation, her interest in guys, everything. She's trying basically to, she's playing it off like she's just playing a game, like Mion plays with us, right? But at the end of the day, the game ends when it's with Mion. Shion is like attacking like Mion's core, like who she is, what she values, and just basically kind of like winning against Mion, but in a way that puts Mion in a corner all the time. And it's very rough, and I feel like it's a bit vindictive. And I'm guessing there's going to be reasons for it. Maybe we'll get to see some of those reasons, but it does feel very, like, over the top, if that makes sense. I feel like that's the one thing I don't like about Shion. Like, that's kind of a major thing I don't like about Shion, is that she is genuinely so targetedly cruel to Mion, to the point where it feels more like, I thought it was like, maybe it was like overbearing, and it was creeping into toxic when I last saw it, but I think it is fully toxic. It might be pure malicious. Like, there might be genuine hatred there. Like, to some kind of interaction or some kind of interesting, like maybe why they live apart from each other. Maybe something of an event happened in the past that makes Shion very much dislike her. So I don't know what it could be, and I don't know like if it's actually like a whole like a thing or not. But for me, like the implication I'm getting, the vibe I'm getting, is that there's like that Shion is annoyed and flustered by like Mion is flustered by Shion, but Shion might actually harbor real like malicious intent for Mion. Anyway, let's keep going.
ね、ケイちゃん、私が一緒でもいいですよね。
She asked, grabbing my arm and pushing her chest into it. Bounce.
ケイチくん、鼻血出てるよ。
ところてんを押したらニューって出てくるだろ。
Okay.
あれと同じだ。これは抗いようのない現象なんだよ。
へえ、
Look at that
そうなんで
face.
すか？
Look at that face. Hang on. Oh, she's so evil looking. Yeah.
じゃあ力を入れたらもっと出てくるかな。
Oh gosh.
えい、
Oh
You?
my gosh. Shion, her cleavage, it's right up against my chest. I agree. That's how I feel right now.
あんたこら何やってんの？
不潔ですわ。
Let's see. I'm gonna go back to it. How I feel right now. Yep, that's my emotions right now.
何やってんの？
That delivery's great.
見損ないましたよ。僕の平らなお胸ではどうなのです？
Oh my gosh, wait, what? Rika-chan claps up on my other arm too, rub. a plentiful plump feeling on my left shoulder and a sour sensation of a young unripe fruit on my right. God, what are you thinking, dude? And then Rena kills us both. Shion, Rika-chan, and I, our faces now bruised, fell on the ground, limp, sprawling.
よくやったレナ。
みんな不潔なんだよ。レナに殴られたのです。
That's impressive, actually. I never thought we'd actually see that happen.
痛いのですよ。リカは自業自得でしたよ。
Sheesh. Now that Shion was here, the energy around us has increased by 120%.
お姉の友達は実に愉快です。退屈しないな。ああ、そう。あんたさえいなくなればもっと愉快なんだけどね。
Kind of agree.
もっと一緒にいたいけど、あんまりケイちゃんを誘惑すると本当にお姉に噛みつかれちゃいそうです。
Mm-hmm.
だから私、一時退却しますね。また来ます。じゃあね、お姉。二度と来るな。
Don't come back.
塩負けしよ
You get the salt. What are you gonna do? Trap her in a circle? After teasing her older sister so much, Shion ran away to the crowd of people and disappeared.
なんだか珍しいミオンさんを見た気がしますわ。
I know, right?
しーちゃんが一緒だとみーちゃんなんだかかわいいね。
Rena smiled happily, earning her a whack on the head from Mion.
アホなこと言ってんじゃないよ。次行くよ、次。
We went about just like that, real noisy and lively to the other stands. When we were paying money towards the beginning, but midway through, the guys running the shops thought we were just too funny, who ended up being able to fool around without paying much more. That's kind of nice, but that's also like the vibe of like a local festival too. Thump. The vigorous sound of a big taiko drum echoed through the air.
リカ、そろそろ時間みたいでございましたよ。
Here we go.
いよいよなんだね。
Right, it's just about time for Rika-chan to appear in the factory dance. Not factory. Factory's like nose. Offertory. Offertory dance.
ちょっとドキドキしてるのです。
信じなって。リカちゃんが流してきた汗は絶対に無駄になんかならないから。
Mion slapped hard on Rika-chan's back.
そうですわ。リカはきっとやり遂げますわ。頑張るのですよ。その息だよ。
I balled my hand into a fist and raised it to the air.
応援してるぞリカちゃん。ファイトオンだぜ。
Very cute. Rika-chan gave her best smile I'd ever seen, then pivoted on her heel and ran off.
じゃあ私たちも行こうよ。
そうだな。応援してやろうぜ。
ダメですのよ。演舞中は静かにしていないといけませんでございますわよ。
Oh, and cheer figuratively. I got it. Jeez, I run my hands through my hair. She's worried about her good friend up to the end.
なら急いで行かないといい場所がなくなっちゃうよ。行こう。
Let's get out of here. Mion ran off and everyone else followed a moment later. A large amount of people had already clustered into a tight space to watch the edifying dance.
こり
God,
ゃ
it's so red.
すごい人出だな。
It feels so demonic. I turned around to look at everyone else, but nobody was there. Where did everyone go? They probably got lost among all these people. Finally, I spotted the back of Mion's head the other side of the crowd. It's not going to be Mion, though. It definitely doesn't look like I can get over there. Well, we got separated, no big deal. We can just meet it back up when Rika-chan's dance is over. I gave up on finding the others and wandered around, trying to look for a place where I'd be able to see better. Didn't take long for me to realize I'd have to settle for watching between the heads of people in front of me, though. Thump. Once again, an even louder taiko drums resounded. This one was announced the beginning of the dance. I couldn't see very well, but it seemed like Rika-chan had come on stage with the elders who were in priestly garb. I heard low exhalations of admiration and seniors rubbing their prayer beads in gratitude. Everyone's heads were in the way and I couldn't see. It was really frustrating. We should have cut playtime short and come here to get good spots earlier. After Rika-chan intoned the prayer, she took up the festival hoe and walked to the pile of quilts stacked on the altar. That's right. The point of the ceremony was to purify bedding to hold a memorial service, wasn't it? Then the solemn offertory dance began. She had practiced using mochi-pounding mallet. The awkwardly shaped festival Higurashi-chan held seemed really heavy. Back and forth, up and down, it was doubtlessly difficult to even lift in the air, but she sweated and waved, raised and dropped it again and again. She couldn't just deal with it and do it grudgingly. As the shrine maiden, she needed to retain the dignity and solemnity present at the festival. There must be a ton of pressure on Rika-chan's shoulders right now. Dang, why am I cheering her on from a place I can barely see her? I'm her friend. I should be right up the best spot rooting for her.
ケイちゃん、こっちこっち。
Oh, interesting. I swear in the first chapter, we were with everybody watching. Someone tugged lightly on the back of my shirt collar. It was Shion. She beckoned me outside the crowded ring of people. She had a mischievous grin on her face and I took it as her saying she knew a good place nobody else knew of.
Shion? なんだなんだ?
黙ってついてきてくださいね。
Uh-huh. After she told me so, she ran to a big detour around the throng. Man, it's great to have someone who knows the lay of the land here at times like this. Impressed though I was, I nearly lost sight of her right away. No more getting separated from me. I ran after her so I wouldn't be left behind. As I wondered in anticipation of the kind of secret spot Shion had in mind, we left the crowd of people and went around back to the shrine grounds.
おいおい、どこ行くんだよ?
Oh, remember, that's the thing I was mentioning before. Shion doesn't seem to have much care for like the culty side of things. I would guess that she's probably more in the camp of like, hey, we should be like a family, like a yakuza almost, like kind of build rather than like a cult. So I'm wondering if she's secretly like just separating us so we can spend time with her, kind of thing.
これじゃあ、どんどん離れちゃってるぞ。
黙ってついてくればわかりますから。
Uh-huh. Shion gave me a wink that reminded me of Mion as she said that. No sign of people, not much moonlight, it was dark. We had gotten pretty far away from the crowd of people on the shrine grounds. How are we supposed to see Rika-chan's dance from here?
そっか、どこか高いところがあるんだな。屋根の上とか、そういうところから見下ろそうって言うんだろう。
She's like,
は
oh,
い。なんで屋根に登んなくちゃいけないんです
yeah, she's like, oh, you idiot.
だってそうじゃなかったら、どうやってリカちゃんの演舞を見るんだよ。
リカちゃまの演舞なんか見たかったんですかケイちゃん、ひょっとしてストライクゾーン、ものすごく低くありません
Uh-huh.
なんだか話が微妙に噛み合わないぞ。お前は俺をリカちゃんの演舞がよく見える場所に案内してくれるんじゃないのか?
Oh, you poor, beautiful idiot.
はい。誰もそんな約束してませんよ。
Ah! What's going on? Why me? Why do I always misunderstand Shion? Is it my fault? Am I just reading the wrong things into it? Yes, and yes.
じゃあ、お前は俺をなんでこんなところに呼び出したんだよ?
With an expression that indicated she wasn't fooling around, Shion pressed her index finger to my lips and said slowly and quietly, "This place is a dark, dead, empty spot you can't see from the festival grounds, and now a male and female of the same age are all alone together. Could this be? Shion, she's not planning something crazy again, is she?"
あれを見てください。
Shion whispered, pointing into the dark underbrush. And there we saw two figures, one male, one female. Oh, it's gonna be those two.
なんだ
The
あ
two
りゃ
that are gonna get vanished.
まさか。
相敵の生現場に決まってるじゃないですか。
Shion, you're very strange.
ほらほら、よく見てください。あれ、誰だかわかります？
I peered intently into the dark at Shion's suggestion. Oh, it's Tomatake-san and Takuna-san. The two of them were clearly breathing quietly and glancing around to make sure nobody knew where they were as they crouched before the entrance to the wooden storehouse-like building.
まさかシオン、これを見せたくて俺を呼んだのか?
ケイちゃん、リカちゃまの演舞は毎年見られるけど、こういうのは二度とお目にかかれませんよ。
What exactly are you trying to show us, Shion? I had a thought that Sonoki sisters each had their own personalities, but at times like this it seemed all too similar.
俺は帰るぞ。二度とこんなのに呼ぶなよな。
今動いたらバレちゃいますって。
After a noisy argument, Takuna suddenly turned around.
あらあら、どなたかしら
We had our breaths and tried to wait it out, but it seemed Takuna-san had now acutely aware of our presence. Shion and I exchanged glances, then gave up and climbed out from behind the bush.
どうも、こんばんは。
Yeah, no.
お月様の綺麗ないい夜ですね。
Mm-hmm.
あらあら、シオンちゃんに前原くんじゃない。 こんばんは。月の綺麗な夜ね。
おやおや、ケイチ君も隅に置けないね。
He's like, get away, get out of here, kid.
こんなところで合いびきかい？だとしたら、僕たちとんでもないお邪魔をしちゃったかな。
You're the ones who were meeting up secretly. Tomataka-san, Takada-san laughed at themselves. It got on my nerves for some reason. Oh, hang on, though. So I do think they're probably involved, but maybe they're not so much. It's based on romance. What if it's about investigating? Because that's the thing. He's a cameraman, right? He likes taking pictures. He's slowly found out about, like, the secrets around the town. And so what if he's here potentially documenting all that? And she loves, like, murder mystery type stuff, right? And so she gets all excited about investigating too. And she's from the village, and so she's giving him insight into, like, places they can go to try and learn more because she's always been curious and wondered, right? Maybe that's why they get vanished, is because he is investigating what's been going on around here. I don't know if he's as far as, like, a PI, but, like, he's at least curious, and she's obsessed with the concept and stories and wants to know. And, like, is using, like, they're just they're devious match made in heaven kind of situation.
ってことは、富武さんたちは相引きしてたってわけじゃないみたいですね。
それはもちろん違うよ。そういうロマンスも嫌いじゃないけどね。
残念だけど、あなたたちが覗き見したくなるような相引き現場じゃないのよ。
Mm-hmm.
期待に添えなくて申し訳ないわね。
Yeah.
相引き現場じゃなかったら何してるんですか？
I feel like we're really getting caught up with something weird here.
富武さん、今扉の南京錠いじってませんでした？
Yep. Yeah, like I said, investigating. I think that's why they're asking too many questions. Huh? After she said that, I looked at the two of them again, and I definitely saw it. They were hunched in front of a warehouse door fiddling with a pretty heavy-looking padlock.
バレちゃしょうがないな。僕たちが倉庫破りをしてたなんて内緒だよ。
内緒って、それ、泥棒ってことですか？
I demanded unthinkingly, just because of how absently Tomatake-san was grinning.
いやーね、泥棒ってのは物を盗む人たちのことでしょ。別に私たちは物を持ち出そうとしているわけじゃないのよ。
へえ。
Mm-hmm.
じゃあ何のために鍵開けなんかしてるんですか？ここ。開かずの西宮殿ですよね。
Oh boy. That's true, though. There's gonna be secrets and people buried under buildings. It's probably here.
古出家とほんの一握りの人間しか入ることが許されないっていう。
Forbidden storehouse. I took a few steps back at that and looked at the entrance. It looked at the entire warehouse. It certainly looked like one, but built removed from any signs of people, almost as if in secret. It was filthy, revealing how little it was ever opened. And it was built to be durable, given its strange, overpowering impression. Now that I looked at it more closely, it was certainly different from normal warehouses.
ここはね、西宮殿といってね、西宮をしまっている倉庫なの。いえ、西宮を祀っている神殿と言ってもいいかもしれないわね。
Right, she wants to know the device that they put, like, people in to keep them in the swamp to slowly let them sink over 3 days.
リカちゃんが奉納演舞で使っている祭事用の桑も、今日までこの中にしまわれていたものよ。もちろん、古出家の人間以外は、汚れを持ち込むから、立ち入り禁止の不可侵領域。
Right.
聖域なの。
Shouldn't we absolutely not be coming to a place like this then? However, Takano was wearing a childlike expression, an innocent smile at best, and terribly cool grin at worst.
私、Hinamizawaの昔語りや伝承を趣味で研究してるって言ったわよね。私の知的興味の様々な答えがこの中に詰まってるの。この中に入れるチャンスを今日までずっと待ってたんだから。
It's so sad that she's gonna fall prey to the very ritual she's so curious about. A chance. Everybody's eyes were fixed on the dance at the shrine grounds today. This was an ultimate blind spot.
へえ。富武さんに鍵開けの技術があるなんて知りませんでした。
あ、よしてくれよ。僕だっていやいややってるんだよ。
付き合わせてしまってごめんなさいね。でも、二郎さんのおかげよ。感謝してるわ。
やれやれ。
でも高野さん、こういうのはこれっきりにしてくれよ。こういうところに黙って入り込むのは、やっぱり気が引ける
Oh,
よ。
I clicked early, sorry.
やっぱり二郎さんはいい人ね。
Kerch clink. Tomitaka-san undid the padlock and placed it to the side.
開いたよ。
No, don't
あ
do
りが
it.
と
Don't do
う。
it.
いよいよね。
Takano-san gulped. With an unusually excited air about her, she gave the heavy door a shove. The sharp smell of mold and dust flowed out from the gap in the doors. I claimed curses didn't exist, but in this situation, I could believe in them. If we went into such a holy place with our shoes on, it felt like we could be punished somehow.
どう？あなたたちも共犯なんだし、せっかくだから一緒に見学しない？
Oh, man. Yeah, okay. He goes in here, definitely going to be painted enemy of the people.
ひなみ沢の皮脂を埋める貴重な文化遺産の見物会よ。今日だけの限定会館。
別に俺たち共犯ってわけじゃ。
面白いと思いません？
Oh, Shion, why?
ねえ、覗いてみましょうよ。
Shion said, predictably, linking her arm with mine.
でも、これは絶対いけないことだよ。神聖な倉庫なんだろ？西宮殿って言ったっけ？ますます勝手に入っちゃまずいよ。
私は一応その崎の人間ですから、この中にあるものはおおよそ想像がついてます。
Right. Are you allowed in there, though?
でも、それはケイちゃんにも見てもらいたいものです。
Okay.
俺に見てもらいたいもの？
I thought it was just a ploy, but Shion's eyes looked entirely serious. Of course, she was the sort who could lie with a straight face. Of course, I was an average boy, too. My curiosity was at least twice that of a normal person. Sleeping, forbidden treasure, never to leave a warehouse, chances like this don't come around too often. If I had to choose, then I want to see. God, I want to too, but I know it's gonna be bad. Until the locked doors open, though. I don't know about this.
面白くないって思ったら、ケイちゃんはすぐに出ればいいです。きっと興味を惹かれると思いますけどね。
Tomitaka-san spoke after listening to our discussion, himself having sat down on the stair to take a short rest.
僕がここで見張っててあげるから、一緒に見てきてごらん。僕はあまり趣味じゃないけど、ケイイチ君みたいな若い男の子には結構面白いかもしれないよ。
Huh. He said, laughing mischievously. There was no ill will in his laughter.
富武さんはこの中に何があるのか知ってるんですか？
まあね、高野さんにたっぷり聞かされてるからね。
相方の特殊な趣味に付き合わされる殿方も大変ですね。
Huh. Tomitaka-san didn't answer that, only responding with a pained smile. Takano-san had this kind of scary air about her, like she'd drop absolutely everything else for something she had an interest in and go straight for it, but Tomitaka-san, on the other hand, seemed like a gold standard of what a normal person should be. Having him tell me so frankly to go check it out suddenly made the guilt feel lighter.
じゃあ、ちょっとだけな。面白くなかったらすぐ出るぞ。
Oh boy. You got it, Shion gave me another Mion-like wink.
決まったみたいね。じゃあ、行きましょうか。
And wait a minute. We also can't dismiss the idea that we thought we saw Mion and we didn't, and now this could be Mion here. But why? Why would Mion do this? Why would Shion do this, though? I don't know either way.
留守番をお願いね。
Tomitaka-san waved his hand to see us off. Oh boy. I'm nervous. I'm nervous. The inside the pitch was pitch black, but Takano-san turned on the battery-powered lantern she'd brought, revealing a pretty cramped front room.
真っ暗だね。みんな転ばないように気をつけるんだよ。
ご心配ありがとう。じゃあ、門番をよろしくね。ここ、閉めるわよ。
Takano smiled spitefully as if leaving Tomitaka-san out of something fun and began to close the door.
やれやれ。じゃあみんな、ゆっくり楽しんでおいで。
Be quick! There was a low, heavy, loud noise. We were completely cut off from the outside world and covered in silent darkness. Takano-san's lantern was the only light we had.
大丈夫よ。予備電池も入ってるアウトドア仕様なんだから、冷えたりなんかしないわよ。
Looks like Takano noticed my uneasy expression. I couldn't help but blush a little and avert my gaze. Deeper inside, there was a heavy but old, sturdy door with solemn decorations on it. It was the last door sealing away what was within.
ただの倉庫なのに前室があるなんて変わってるでしょ。一度に1枚ずつ扉を出入りさせることによって西宮殿の中が外に見えないようにする工夫だと考えられるわね。
That makes sense. Takuto-san explained this, awfully impressed by the construction. But still, it's really dark in here. Huh. That over there, I spotted a circuit breaker hanging from a clump of wiring clumsily attached to the wall.
あ、これ明かりのブレーカーか何かじゃないですか？
I flipped the biggest switch I could find with a click. The pitch-black room was illuminated by an old bare light bulb. Everyone scrunched up their faces to the sudden strobe light brightness.
ダメです。
Before she even finished, Shion slapped my hand and flicked the switch back. There was another loud click and the room returned to darkness, with only the lantern for illumination.
いてててて。
ダメです、ケイちゃん。
People are gonna see.
私たち、ここに忍び込んでるんですよ。明かりなんかつけたら、バレちゃうかもしれないじゃないですか。
I'm scolded by Shion fairly harshly. She's right, though. It looked like she was worried about whether someone had seen from the momentary light.
大丈夫よ。本当に一瞬だし。
Takuto-san remained a relaxed adult. It seemed like she was confident she could talk her way out of it if someone did see us.
さあ、入りましょう。
Oh my
よ
gosh.
っしゃっと。
Oh my gosh, I'm so terrified. The even heavy door opened. This time it wasn't the dust that came out of the air, it was also a nasty smell. One that smelled like opening a dust-filled cupboard in the back of a kitchen that hadn't been opened in years. And the other smell, a nasty one, was hard to explain, but it was like raw odor of a fish market. Oh, lovely. From how its sounds echoed in the room felt far larger than the first. Takuto-san held up the lantern and revealed the contents of an expansive room. At the back wall of the storehouse, right in front of us, was a Buddha-like holy object standing there, looking down at us. It was taken aback by an unseen force, lit up by a slender beam of the lantern. Oh,
あれが
yeah.
hinamizawaの守り神、お社様よ。
Yeah. And look at that definitely looks like a torture chair. A grindstone. And that's a human-shaped coffin, specifically. Cages? What the fetch? Oh, look at this. Like, there's definitely torture and some implements on the walls. Oh, yeah, we should not be in here.
社にあるのより、ずっと立派ですね。
Oh, Yashiro-sama. So this is the spirit protecting Hinamizawa. The one guarding the holy land of Hinamizawa from the impurities of the outside world, and the one delivering punishment after punishment upon those who attempted to sully the land with the dam construction.
想像してたより、たくさんの細具が収められているようね。でも残念。どれもあまり手入れがされていないわ。状態が悪いのが悔やまれるわね。
Even in the dim light, I could see a lot of strange objects lining the ceiling and shelves. Takuto-san, speaking as if in a trance, was infatuated with various implements filling the dark room. They weren't very festive-like or traditional, but instead this was more like the workshop of a blacksmith or carpenter. There were a lot of large wooden and metal tools packed in here. Putting it bluntly, it was all pretty boring stuff. Except for the implication. I'd imagine there would be more artistic things in here from the Helian period, but these are a far cry from being cultural artifacts. My expression betrayed my dashed hopes that they caught on right away.
あら、面白くないかしら？
俺は文系でも美術系でもないんで、あんまりこういうのを見ても、よく価値がわからないです。
ケイイチ君はよくわかってないみたいね。
No, he doesn't. He doesn't. I would be panicking.
無理もないけれど。
Takuto-san reached into a paper bag that she'd been holding the whole time, took out a worn scrapbook, and began to flip through it.
じゃあ、ケイイチ君のために昔話でも聞かせてあげようかしら。この地方では一般的な昔話よ。図書館に行けば、教育委員会推薦の本にも載ってるくらいにね。
Telling stories in such a dark, creepy place? She must have a horror story in mind. Shion's face belied nothing but calm. If she had the same personality as Mion, she'd have found fault with me being scared. I'll endure it for now and pretend to be calm.
いい？じゃあ、読むわよ。
Alright, after confirming that we were going to be quiet and listen, she began to speak softly like a kindergarten teacher reading a picture book. Alright, it's like, I'm trying to debate whether we should stop here, because I feel like it's going to go on for a while, but it also could be relatively short, and then it might be ended, but I feel like we'll also have a resolution at the end of it all. So maybe we will stop here. It's probably not super fair, but at the same time, it's like, I think this is a decent place to stop just because we're going to get the story, and then there's going to be an after effect, and then there's probably going to be a hint at like the fate that happens to these two. Maybe we'll get a hint of what happens to her, because we know what happens to Toмотaka-san from the first chapter, but maybe we'll get like a little glimpse into what happens to her, and then we'll have the tips that'll be at the end. So I feel like there is another like half. And last time I actually stopped right at the end of like right before they went to the shrine. This time I went a little further, so it's probably not the safest, but at the same time I don't want to get too into the sticks and like have gone on too long. I've already recorded a super long episode for this week, and I still think it's not a great idea. I know it might be disappointing, but at the same time, it lets me give my full energy and attention to stuff. It was fun to see like the fun times that were at the festival, but now we're going to get like the story, and like we have this room and all the crazy stuff that's going to be in there, and I can do some theory crafting next time. So I think it's just a good place for us to be ended. But yeah, big gulps. That's pretty much all I can think of here. So thank you so much for being here today. Thank you so much for your time and your patience and your willingness to join me on these stories. And hopefully it's not too terrible a place to end, but I'm sure a lot of you are going to be like, no, why? But I don't know. It also doesn't help. I'm getting like a cold or something. So if I go too long, I'm probably just going to make myself sicker. So I'll probably just take a break here for now. But I appreciate you spending your time here and being able to join me. Let's crack on together next time and just be able to kind of ride out the really creepy side of everything when we hear the story, and like get a good idea of what the actual implementations here are for, the implications of it all. And I'm sure somebody's going to see us coming out of here, and that's going to be the grand reveal, the horror that will come in the next few parts will be like this idea of like, oh yeah, Mion saw, she witnessed. I'm sure that's what's going to happen, but yeah, we'll get to all that later. Thank you all so much for being here today. Thank you so much for joining me on the channel, for being a part of this wonderful experience, and buckle up for the insanity that will come. I guess there's nothing else to say other than thank you so much, especially to patrons and members for your support. Everything you do, though, like if you're watching, liking, commenting, it's all really important to me, so I appreciate it, and I look forward to hearing your thoughts on this one. But I digress. Thank you, and until the next video watching me, see me next. I'll see you there.